What is what?
There was some, I don't know, there's some other streamer that was on while I was on your channel, and they were playing the game I've seen advertised on Steam called Chained Together.
Oh yeah, that game's insane, bro.
It looked kind of weird. The footage I was seeing at first was just like a bunch of characters just falling in and out of each other, and I was like, "What's going on?" But then I saw the chains, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's now I know what that is."
Yeah, okay. So now we're live, guys, and I hope you guys are ready for a great episode of TightSpot's Lounge, which we are going to be going live in 2 seconds here. Let's just bring ourselves up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to. Oh, shit. It says New Music Inferno. This isn't New Music Inferno. We're not talking about music here today. I forgot to change the title. Ah, my fault. It's my fault, guys. We're getting a double dose of the logos. I was like, oh, that's the last thing I forgot to do. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to TightSpot's Lounge, where we talk about movies, life, and so much more with our good friend Nakattack. Um, we've been doing this since the pandemic. For anyone who's been the first-time listeners of this podcast, or viewers for that matter, we are live, and we were supposed to be live last week, but I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really feeling coming on here. After the news of last week that I received, and then to tell you the truth, it was a rough week because it was my mom's birthday, and um, you know, for anyone who doesn't know, who hasn't been reading my socials, my Aunt Rita passed away yesterday. Uh, it wasn't expected. It was she was last week. She was given 2 to 4 weeks to live because of a cancer that went throughout her body. But unfortunately, she succumbed to her the cancer yesterday, and now is in heaven with my grandmother and grandpa and all the other family members that went before her. But just keep our family in our prayers. It's been rough with for my mom and everyone else in our family. So, welcome to the show, guys. I'm sorry I started on a somber note. Also, rest in peace to Bob Newhart, Richard Simmons, Shannon Doherty, and everyone else who has passed away in the forefront of what we've been covering here, which is like entertainment and music and life and all that. Mr. Murdercap, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. So Nakattack, how you been, my friend? How's everything? How was your week? How have your past 3 weeks been?
Been interesting. Finally got a new person to train at work to take over the job that I've kind of been forced to take over. So starting to transition to get back to my regular duties. I'm looking forward to that.
You gotta love that. They put upon you to do another job, and then they finally after how long has it been since they forced you to do stuff that you were like, okay, now I gotta do more. Am I gonna get a pay raise?
It's been like 3 months.
Okay, that's not bad. At least wasn't a year or something. I mean, honestly, I know they probably were like, I don't know if we want to hire anyone, but they finally did.
At that point, they'd start hiring. They'd start looking to hire someone for the duties I was supposed to be doing. They're like, no, you're this position now.
Oh, so they were putting you somewhere else, hiring somebody else.
I'm just. That's just like a joke that I would have seen happen if it kept going on long enough.
Oh, it could have. I mean, honestly, it's possible. But this week, guys, our show's about Insidious: The Red Door. It's available on Netflix and a lot of other outlets, so you guys can go rent it. Well, no, you can't go rent it. Redbox is closed. Is Redbox closing? That's what I hear. Redbox is closing as well. I don't know if that's true or not. But
they're already done.
Yeah, I don't know. Shit's going crazy. Entertainment.
They used to have one at my grocery store, but it hasn't been there for a while.
Okay, all right. So maybe Redbox.
I just assumed they all closed down just because that one wasn't there anymore.
Well, it was kind of it was a good thing. It was kind of like Netflix. Netflix was for anyone who doesn't remember, Netflix was actually a rental of movies back years ago. A couple, maybe 10, 15 years ago. They were just renting movies instead of this streaming conglomerate that they are. Uh, but yeah, we're talking about Insidious the Red Door. We're gonna be talking about some of the stuff that we've been listening to. That's our next topic. What we've been listening to, because honestly, there's a lot of good stuff that's been coming out these past couple weeks. Nakattack mentioned one that I've been listening to on and off. I haven't listened to it straight through because I really haven't just sat down and listened to a record. Except for yesterday, I did get to listen to the complete Childish Gambino record that came out yesterday, and it's fantastic for anyone who's touched that. But the one record I'm talking about that Nakattack was listening to and that you said is a banger, which is what? What is that record that you were listening to, Nakattack?
I was checking out Eminem's new album, The Death of Slim Shady. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say it's very good.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What is your track that you like? You don't know the names.
I literally I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I got through the first 5, and
Okay.
there wasn't one I didn't like. So
yeah, a lot of crazy topics in the first 5 songs. For anyone who has listened,
I like how meta. It's like a weird concept album where like Slim Shady is back to murder Eminem or vice versa. It was a little hard to follow because I don't know all of the history of Eminem's stage names and stuff, but I like the concept of it.
Yeah, it's a good record. I mean, honestly, it is a concept record, kind of where he's kind of saying, "Hey, goodbye to this moniker," and just putting to rest his career. I guess I think he's gonna step away and just live out his life and maybe tour. I don't know. I'm not sure what direction he's going. I haven't seen any tour dates announcements or any of that stuff, but. Yeah, I mean, honestly, pretty good stuff. I did get
His rapping skills are peak. It'd be a shame if he retired because he's firing on all cylinders.
Oh, he's been that good for ages. I mean, honestly, from the first record till now, I mean, honestly, there were some downers. There were people didn't. I mean, there were some records I didn't listen to of his, and it was like the later ones, like. Some of the stuff where I took a break from his stuff, but I was a fan since the beginning of his stuff, and I haven't been able to see him live, and I don't know how I would. I mean, I've been to a rap concert before, if you consider Tech Nine, a rap concert, which he is, but like Eminem, I don't know how that crowd would be. I think it would be an interesting crowd to be a part of because honestly, it's interesting, but I digress.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because he's white, but he's one of those rare rappers that kind of, what I'm trying to say. I guess he everyone just kind of likes his music.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of people that hate him, but that's beside the point. That's like saying everybody loved 50 Cent, but there were a lot of people that wish death upon him. Like the song in his "Get Rich and Die Trying" record, which is like Many Men. For anyone that's a throwback for anyone who remembers that song, which they should because it was kind of like a hit, but not like a radio hit. It was like a B-side that was really popular with a lot of people because it was.
Yeah, and
really
I'll just say, as far as my being a fan of Eminem, I've always just been a casual fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the radio hits, but I never really listened to the albums. This is actually the first album of his I listened to, and I really like it.
Wow, did you?
That makes me want to go back and check the back catalog.
Oh, you should. You should start off with the first record and be like, wow. There's a song on one of the records called Rock Bottom, which is really... It's an intense song. It's fun. I like it. And then... yeah, there's another song on the first record. I can't remember the title right now off my tongue, but yeah. You've seen 8 Mile, right? Or no?
Yeah, I saw it. Only saw it when it was in theaters. Okay. I didn't like it at the time, but I think I'd probably like it better now.
All right, maybe we'll touch that one day. because there's no 8 Mile 2 coming out. That's definitely not a second movie coming out.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
reason to.
I'll say this at the time I was like very much a snob about my music. Like it's not rock and roll, it sucks. But I've definitely expanded my horizons since then.
Yeah, I
Like I
mean, but
appreciate
you know,
just about all sorts of music nowadays.
and you know why you were a snob. You're just the way you were. You were like, you
Because I
know
was a dumb
what?
kid.
Yeah, we were all dumb kids once, so who cares? You weren't a snob. You were just the way you were. Being a white boy in middle of America. Do I go rap? Do I go rock? And you chose the rock path, and now you're like, okay, now I'm 40. Now I'm like, okay, let's listen to whatever I want to and delve in, and that's awesome. I love it. So nothing wrong against that, Nakattack.
Although I still defend my stance on that weird rock rap stuff that Limp Bizkit ushered in. That stuff still sucks.
Well, does Linkin Park suck? Then
Ah, they're like what do I want to say here? I kind of have the same feeling about them that I have with Aerosmith. Like they got some banger albums, but they also got some shit too.
okay.
So I'm
Alright.
kind of like 50-50 with Linkin Park.
Okay. All right. R.I.P. Chester, though. I mean, we're never gonna have another Linkin Park record, but just thought I would bring that up because I was like, oh, that's like a little cross between what you're talking about. Um, so let's see. What else? What else am I listening to? Well, I got to go to a show 2 nights ago that was free down the street. It was a punk rock show at a pizza joint called Red Dwarf here in Vegas. The Minges was the headliner. It was the Minges, the band called Kids on Fire from Seattle, and then another local band called Crimson Riot. It was a damn good show. Definitely a great time.
Some good punk rock band names.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there were two female-fronted bands, Crimson Riot and the Minges were both female-fronted, and they were good. Kids on Fire, punk rock band from Seattle. I mean, honestly, it was great. Those guys were cool to talk to. They want to be on the show, so one day coming up here after they get home from tour, I guess, I will hit them up and we'll have them on New Music Inferno. We'll talk about video games, music, and so much more on the show with them.
Were these groups more pure punk or was it a bit more pop punk?
I'm gonna say
Somewhere in between.
somewhere in between. You can check them out on
If someone doesn't
Spotify.
know what somewhere in between is, I consider Rise Against is like the perfect mix of the two, of hardcore and pop punk, sort of. That's like the perfect blend.
I mean, I think they had a little bit more, like, kind of like Rise Against, but not really. I mean, they had topics of songs that could be considered like Rise Against-ish, like, kind of political, but not kind of. They were a lot of fun. They're all their stuff's on Spotify, so you guys can check it out. Or on what do you check your music on at? You check your music at where? Or where do you listen to, Nakattack?
I just go to YouTube and I'll find record labels and I'll follow their channels.
Okay. All right.
And you can find some hidden gems doing it that way. I highly recommend, if you find an artist you like, go to the record label. You'll probably find some other artist you like that you never heard of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a good choice to do. And I appreciate everyone tuning in here. I mean, honestly, we're just rambling on about music right now, but we're going to be changing it up here in a second to our movie, which was it was Nakattack's choice, but Nakattack, like you said, there's some winners and some losers in this world of movies, and
I referred to this as Insidious the Red Boar because of how boring it is.
yeah. So let's delve into it. Insidious, the Red Door. So you know what we do here, and I think it's cool. I'm not playing the trailer. I'm not playing any photos of this movie. I think it says how much we really cared about this movie, right? I think if we do our research or put up like a little bit of extra effort into the shows, I think it means we like the movie a little bit more than we did. So this means one thing or the other, and that means we really were like, yeah, What did we just watch? so guys, if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it, but I suggest you don't. We'll get into why right here, right now. Here it is, our review of Insidious of the Red Door. Nakattack, you want to start it off since it was your choice? Go ahead.
Sure, I'll just going into this, I'd only ever seen Insidious 1,
Mm-hmm.
and I really liked Insidious 1, and I haven't seen it in a while, but I think I would still like Insidious 1. And so I was like, all right, well, let's just take a chance to just go straight to the latest sequel. And yeah, it was weird going in because it felt like a complete reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was almost like we're starting from scratch for the final sequel. And I was very confused, but after watching the film, I went back and kind of looked up what the other sequels were about. And apparently, like, part 3 and 4 had nothing to do with the family.
Wow.
So apparently, like, Insidious Part 5 is actually, like, Insidious Part 3.
Oh.
It's so weird the way they decided to kind of come back around to that storyline. But, yeah, so I honestly, I want to see more of the series. Like, I'm curious about 2, 3, and 4, but I think 5 was definitely kind of a weird. It just kind of limped across the finish line, at least as far as the storyline with that family is concerned. I mean, I know I heard they're making more because I guess this made money or whatever. Which
Yeah.
You know, it's a horror franchise; they're always going to make more.
Yeah. Before we go any further, though, Reed is on the YouTube. Hello, Reed. You were never a dumb kid. Brittany Murphy forever. Yeah, you are the only one on YouTube because no one really goes there. But we are trying to work on that, trying to boost our channel. And I appreciate you, Reed. I'm sorry I didn't mean to not read your comments. We were just deep in thoughts, and I wasn't.
It's your turn to boost that number this week.
Yeah, Reed. Yeah, boost it, buddy. Boost it. We'll be boosting it more when we play more college football, which did came up today for anyone who did not get the deluxe edition on Monday, which we did, and we were playing it. It's a great game, but we're not talking about games right now. We'll talk about that probably after the shitty movie review that we do of this boring movie that was. It was what it was. So I didn't do that research. I didn't know that the other two didn't deal with the family at all. But I remember seeing a little bit. I don't think my wife really watches these. I know she's really into The Conjuring and Annabelle and The Nun and those types of movies. And my horror films are just like
Yeah, James Wan made Insidious and The Conjuring stuff, and then he kind of stepped out after a sequel or two and let other people have at it.
Yeah, I mean, the Conjuring ones are pretty good. Especially
that's another series. I've only ever seen the first one. I really like that first one.
Okay, but you know what? Know what we're gonna do? Fuck fast food or Super Size Me 2. Can we just go and watch The Nun? I'll watch The Nun with you. I don't care. I've watched it already. Okay, so
yeah, that's fine. Slight spoiler, everybody. We talked about doing Super Size Me 2 for the next one.
Yeah.
And I only really suggested that just because it's like a complete 180 from a horror film.
Yeah.
But if you want to do Nun, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, if we can find a copy of it for you to watch. I mean, I'd watch the Nun. I mean, do we watch the sequel or do we watch the first one? Because we're watching sequels here. We'll get back to that. All right. I mean, it would be cool for Super Size Me too, but it's like, is it really? I mean, Morgan Spurlock did just pass away a couple months ago.
He did die. I was like, I think this guy died recently.
Yeah, he did.
But I couldn't remember.
He did. Morgan Spurlock did die. That's another, semi-famous person that passed away months ago. But also, before we go any further, I just want to mention this. My work is giving tickets away for the One Piece Music Symphony tomorrow. Should I go? It's free. I don't know if I want to go or not because it would be cool, but I've never really watched any One Piece shit, so we're getting off tangent here.
The only thing like that I've seen is that guy that I don't know if it's the same guy, but you always see that guy who does the one man AC/DC. Like that's the only version of that I've ever really seen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a symphony. I don't know. I've never seen. I
I'm just
don't.
picturing a guy coming out with a bunch of contraptions, and he's like working like an
No,
arm and a
no, no, no,
leg,
no, no, no,
and he's
no,
like
no, no, no,
got a
no. It's
flute
a
or
whole
something
symphony.
here.
It's a whole symphony. Nakattack. It's a whole
Well,
symphony.
that is a very misleading title because when I hear one man symphony, I'm thinking of a
No,
guy coming out with a whole
I
shit ton of
said One
instruments and playing
Piece.
multiple things at the same
One
time.
Piece. One Piece. The anime. The music symphony version of it. They're gonna be
Okay, you did not clarify any of this stuff.
okay. It's One Piece. The anime. People doing the music from that movie or that show as a symphony.
I don't know what the music in One Piece is like. I've read some of the manga, and I've never really watched the anime.
I've never watched the anime, so I don't know.
I got like 130 issues into the manga,
Okay.
and I don't know. I just kind of lost interest because I know like the manga like really stretches out the boss battles,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where it's kind of boring, and I'm just like, just end this already. And then at that point, like they were coming up on 1,000 chapters, and they're still going.
Yeah.
So I was like,
still
I'm never
going.
gonna catch up to this. So I was like, I'm just kind of clocking out. It's just too big.
Reed said he's never seen.
Like I didn't hate it. It's just there's just so much anime, and I was like, that one just wasn't really catching my interest.
Okay. All right. Reed said I've not seen any of these found footage films and I do like them, but just never got into the modern ones. So are you saying your favorite found footage movie is the Blair Witch Project? Is that what I'm taking it? Because you're talking about modern,
I'm not sure
so
if you consider that a one anymore.
what?
If we're gonna talk about modern found footage, I highly recommend the Hell House LLC films and the hidden gem that's on Tubi, Horror in the High Desert.
Okay, yeah, Horror in the High Desert. That's a great movie. Reed says no, it is not. Okay, I didn't know. I don't
The
know
last
which one you're
15
talking
minutes of
about.
Horror
Then
in the High
Reed.
Desert are terrifying.
Yeah, well, we watched Horror in the High Desert, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last 15 minutes of that film are legitimately just skin crawling. That's a really good
crazy.
found footage flick.
It's crazy stuff. I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, but I do remember watching it with you. Have you ever seen the cannibal films? No, I have not. Have you?
I'm very much. I think you're referring to Cannibal Holocaust. I'm very much aware of that one, but I've never actually seen it. I don't like that they killed an actual turtle for that film. I thought that's just
Oh God.
bullshit.
Well, you guys can kill turtle for me right now and make me some turtle soup, which is really good. I miss that. That's one thing I miss about home. One of the things I miss is turtle soup. I don't know how to make it, and whenever I can find it, it's fucking good. You've had turtle soup before, right?
Yes, it is delicious.
Okay. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had it. But that and sweet lemon bologna, God, that's and my mom's home cooking meatloaf. God, that's all I miss a lot of shit back home.
We're getting way off track. So,
Yeah,
what about you? Have you? I forget. Did you
hungry.
say? Have you seen any of the Insidious films before going into this one? Or?
No, I don't. I don't think I have. I think what we normally watched here was the Conjuring and the Nuns and the Annabelle movies because she's into that stuff. And these weren't like movies that I would search out from because I really like the slasher films, like we like Terrifier, the Saw movies, all that kind of stuff. Because I think it's funny to watch because in all those movies the same kind of concept happens where you got these ditzy assholes or ditzy people that are fucking like, oh, we're not gonna get killed, we gotta run from these killers. It's funny to watch because it's like, okay, horror films,
I argue Terrifier is smarter than that, my friend.
Yeah, it is, but then like I'm not like not all the films. Like I'm just saying like there's
You're
those
referring more
moments.
to the classic slasher, your deep Halloween sequels, your
Yeah,
Friday the 13th Beyond Part 2, and
yeah, yep. That's what I'm talking about. Uh, my wife is saying the Librarian's Quest for the Spear 3-part on Tubi. Okay, we may watch that one day.
that's a series I've always like just kind of seen. Like I've never seen them, but I've always seen it like available to watch somewhere or another, and I've never delved into it.
All right, that sounds good. My wife in the chat, she's watching from the facility that she's at down the road. We'll check that out one day, Danya. So back to it. I mean, you haven't seen any of the Insidious movies, then, right? Or no? You saw the first one.
One, I've seen part one. I really like part one.
Yeah, but yeah,
Part one sets up an interesting world by introducing the further and seeing like what that's like, and they could have went a whole bunch of directions with the sequels.
And they did.
And maybe they did in some of them, but I don't know. But
and that's why we did this. This is why we did. Oh wow, that's awesome, Reed. Reed saying on the YouTube, The Librarians was a great show. I interviewed the whole cast. It's on YouTube. I will have to check out that, Reed. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm lacking on watching people's stuff. I will check out that interview.
I was gonna say I thought that was on TNT or something as a TV show.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat. You got to talk with the cast.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Reed's a great dude. He's actually north of you in New York. I've met him. He was out here for SummerSlam weekend, and we hung out, went to wrestling shows. And it's been a while. I hope he comes out for WrestleMania, but we'll see what happens there in April. But yeah, I mean, the Insidious movies, like you said, they could go on either way. I've never seen the first one, and I think this was a cool thing that we did because this was like the fifth one, right? You said.
Yep.
So
yeah.
we skipped 4 other movies to skip to the fifth one, and one of us has seen the first one. I've seen clips of them. I mean, because honestly, it wasn't a lot of interest in my part to watch any of them, and I know Danya was like, I don't know. And it says, Veer says, if I come to Vegas, it's Universal Halloween Horror. Oh, I didn't know we were getting that. That's pretty sick. Thanks for telling me. May have to check in that down the line. But yeah, these Insidious movies weren't really capturing me because I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like the Conjuring, movies that we've been watching.
Yeah, they're both like ghost films.
Yeah, and I'm like,
horror,
you know what? This one, the Conjuring seems cooler because, we had the guy from Office Space in the movies. I know if I'm thinking right. Yeah, I think they're in a couple of them because the wife gets attacked by a ghost or a premonition or a fucking evil demon.
The Conjuring series plays it a little more seriously, and the Insidious series is a bit more comic booky.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, they are. And this whole thing with this movie was like, I've seen these things in other movies, kind of. Like this is like a Stranger Things meets I don't know. Because honestly,
a little bit, but with that said, Insidious 1 came up with all that alternate world stuff on top of ours before Stranger Things. So they were there before that really took off. That's why that first one was when it came out was pretty cool.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it kind of opened up a direction for a whole TV series, which they did, which was Stranger Things.
Although they did miss the boat on the Paranormal Activity, beat them to the punch with having the ghost haunting a person instead of a place, because that was kind of the crux of Insidious. But other than that, totally different direction than Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity was they did 4 movies of that, I think. I know they had 3.
There's 5 in the main series, and there was 1 spin-off sequel.
Wow. Yeah, it was kind of like...
I've only seen the first 3. I heard part 4 sucked, but I heard that spin-off movie and the last Paranormal Activity are pretty good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't really watched any of them. Yep. 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 Danya's like, Noah Wiley, Jane Curtin, Bob Newhart, rest in peace. Yep. Rest in peace, Bob Newhart, man. 94 years old. Papa Elf died yesterday. So, where do we want to go? I mean, honestly, with this movie, let's talk about it. Let's get
Let's get some positives out of the way. Anything you liked? I mean, it wasn't like a shit show. I mean, there were elements I liked, but it's just. I'll let you go first.
Well, the weird thing I liked, and it's kind of interesting because it was interesting that the demons or the evil things could attack the people on the other side. Like, they attacked, but you couldn't see them. But, like, the sun could see it. Because the girl wasn't even in on the other side. She was in the real world. And, yeah, I like that part. It was interesting. It was like, whoa, like... And then, like, how the ending happened and how they defeated the door. You know? It was like, wow. Like, and then, like the whole thing, like, how they started out with it, where they had the doctor, and then the doctor was at the funeral, and the father semi-remembered him, and, like, it was like those parts. It was cool, but, like, it was boring.
Oh, yeah,
it was like,
I remember I was so confused at the beginning when I was like, why doesn't he remember anything?
you were
That's what happens when you jump in several sequels. I was like, something must have happened in those earlier movies.
Well, no. What they did was in the beginning they did that whole little doctor's appointment, right? You don't remember that part?
I do. Just going in because I knew because he was in the first film and I was like, why don't they remember? Like I was expecting. Like I went into this not knowing anything about it, so I was kind of going into this expecting the family to be like, all right, we're taking the fight to them now. But nope, instead they're like, everyone has amnesia, and so they have to learn it all over again, which I thought was just a terrible way to end the series. But
well, see, the thing is, the mom and the younger brother didn't not remember. It was only the father and the son, because they had
right. But the story wasn't about them though, so
it wasn't.
Not about the mom. It was more about the father and
yeah,
his son.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the father and son didn't remember because they were hypnotized and they blocked it off. And then the art school teacher made the son open up his mind. And yeah,
which didn't really make any sense.
Why?
Honestly, the whole red door thing made no sense. Like I don't know, like how the red door came about. It's not explained at all. It just seemed like they had a cool idea for like a cool visual thing, and that's it. It's just there, and it opens to the other side, and there's ghosts. Boo!
Yeah. Dirty, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I know you're probably going to go live again all night playing college football. Thank you for stopping by. Danya, we are talking about the movie Insidious, The Red Door, which is on Netflix, the movie that we watched. Well, you haven't watched it because you've been watching Axel F, which you said it sucked, but I don't know why you said it sucked. You said it was good earlier, but I'll have to watch it myself. I know Nakattack kind of wants to see it too, but I don't think there's a physical release of that. We know it's on Netflix, but yeah.
What is it, John?
Axel F, the new Beverly Hills Cop movie.
Oh, okay, Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
I'm interested in seeing that at some point. I'm not in a rush to go check that out first thing, but
yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Just I just haven't sat down and watched anything. I've been more interested in just playing video games and streaming and getting more content out there to the world like we are right now. But let's see. No, Reed hasn't said anything.
I'll tell you, I like the drama between the father and son. Like, that was good stuff. There was some good acting in some of those early scenes, especially when they had that fight at the college dorm. I like that stuff. That was good.
Yeah, and that's where it was like we kind of knew it was all about them. Like, it was all about those two. Like, they had the connection where, like, in the beginning, you see the doctor's office and you see them getting hypnotized at, when the son was a young age, and like, it was cool that they had the connection, but it was like, at first I thought the door was like a signifying of the heart of the dad into the son, like the son letting him into his heart, or loving dad before, like, it could get dark and twisted and they really go down a deep dark hole of not having a father-son relationship like a lot of people do have in the real world. Not me. I'm not saying me. I'm just talking about, like, in general. Like, you see it in the public eye sometimes, like, oh, how fathers and sons, or like fathers just impregnate a woman and the father has nothing to do with the kid. But with this, it was like they were, like, he was upset with the dad, just like because of everything that's gone on. That's why, like, they separated, the husband and wife separated, because of a lot of the issues of where he tried to kill the family, and like,
Well,
it.
Hold on. He didn't try to kill the family. He was possessed by one of the ghosts in the further.
Yes, I didn't ask.
But the kids didn't know that, so that's why there was such a...
Yeah, that's why
the family situation just became a shit show.
Yeah,
after the events of Insidious 2, apparently.
Yeah, and then like also you have not like in detail, but you have, like, the father of the grandfather of the kids be brought up and be a part of this world that he never returned to the real world after being into this further that we are talking about as well. So that was kind of cool. That was closure there. With the father and his father at the end there. And also,
yeah, I'll be honest with you. It felt like there was a lot cut out of this movie.
Really?
But yeah, it just seemed like not everything just tied together the way it should. It just seems like they probably cut a lot of stuff for time and pacing, and probably rightfully so, because even what we were left with it's still kind of a boring film. And the only reason I say that is, like, the scares, a lot of them are pretty telegraphed. Like, there's no real stakes. Like, I never felt like anybody was in any real danger of getting killed or anything. Did anyone even die in this movie? I don't even remember. I don't think there was a single death.
I mean, the roommate almost died, but she didn't die because the kid woke up and saved her. But yeah, no one
and
died.
there was like an out of place comic relief character with Nick the Dick. Like, that just seemed like totally out of place with the rest of the film. Like,
yeah, it was like, are we turning this into American Pie a little bit? Like,
I mean, I kind of smirked at some of those scenes, but I definitely didn't get the laughs the movie wanted me to have.
Yeah, he was, like, drunk as fuck in that movie, like, in this role a little bit, because they were, like, at a frat party.
Although I was kind of surprised when we got, like, an Evil Dead gross out gag from one of the ghosts in that scene. I wasn't really expecting that from the series.
Yeah. Yeah, the dude in the throwing up, yeah. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, with the frat bro ghost.
That was insane. This movie kind of reminds me of a cheesy 13 Ghosts ripoff a little bit, but like not really 13 Ghost-ish, because 13 Ghosts was a great movie, I think. I don't know.
13 Ghosts, I wouldn't call it a great movie, but it's a very fun movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's like, I like Matthew
I
Lillard.
liked it. That's a compliment from
Okay.
me.
I like Matthew Lillard a lot in that role, and it was cool to see him.
Oh, he has a blast in that movie. You can tell he's loving that role.
Yeah, because it's more of a serious role. I mean, he went from being Shaggy and then like the killer in Scream, but yeah, it definitely was a more awesome role for him, and he's done a lot since then. I mean, he's Friday Night at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, he's done so much, and he's just doing his thing, and great to see that.
I loved him in Wing Commander. Yeah, I said it. I like Wing Commander.
I've never watched Wing Commander.
That's one of the few video game movies that works for me.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it, but I liked Ready Player One. That's a great movie, I think. I don't know. Nakattack has altering opinions, I think, of that, but you never seen.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
You haven't seen the movie?
The book is fun. The book's another thing where it's fun but not great.
Well, I don't think we're ever gonna get a sequel. I don't think we're ever gonna get Ready Player 2, which kind of sucks. But, that's neither here nor there. But I think it's Hollywood's fault.
It's all right. The book was kind of a letdown too. The Ready Player 2.
Okay, never read it. Nakattack, my wife said that 13 Ghosts is an excellent movie. And are you talking about Danya? Are you talking about Insidious, the Red Door? That is definitely confusing. Something was missing. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chat when we were talking. But yeah. So I don't know where to go with it. I mean, the movie.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
that's my opinion about it.
It is. I mean, the Red Door. I mean, there could have been more jump scares, more. But like you had the moments where the ghost took over and the kid almost killed the girl, but also like they got the demon out of him.
Well, the third act was kind of weird because we just suddenly have a big bad, and I think that was supposed to be the demon who was the villain in the first film.
Mm. Yeah.
Because in the first film, the big bad, and the big bad was throughout that movie, so it felt dangerous when we finally confronted him. But in the first movie, he kept playing "Tiptoe Through the Tulips."
Yep.
Tiptoe. That song, that was like his theme song.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I think they played it for like a couple seconds, but so I was a little confused because he didn't quite have the theme, and he sort of looked like that thing, but it was a little different.
I
was
was
like, is that the same ghost?
I think it may have been, but I think it was because it was suppressed for so long that it lost its energy, maybe. And it wasn't that.
Yeah, but from a storytelling standpoint, like visually, like it just looked a little different, and his theme was a little different, so I was confused. Is this the same thing? I could see that potentially tying things back to the original movie, but they didn't set this thing up as being the villain again until right at the very end, so it just didn't work. At that point, I'm like watching my clock. I'm like, is this over yet? Like, come on.
I love it. But they tied in all the movies. They had the older lady at the end.
Well, I was gonna say, were you confused when Lin Shaye shows up? That's the actress's name.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm like, I recognized her from like the trailers of the other movies. Like, I didn't know, like.
Yeah. I think part 3 and 4, the series kind of became her series for 2 films.
Maybe, I don't
know.
And
then I guess she must have died at the end of part 4. I guess there's just the way it looked like in this one, but
like you said, we haven't watched those movies.
Actually, I think she dies at the end of part 1, or maybe it's just a switcheroo. Like in part 3, she's like, oh no, she's actually alive, but
I don't know. I know.
Her character is cool. I mean, I like that she's like the Marianne, that lady from Poltergeist. She's kind of like that character. The lady, the wise lady that can see ghosts.
Yeah, like I thought that actress was cool, but I know she's passed away years ago. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I mean, I didn't
Lin
like.
Shaye's dead?
No.
I didn't know Lin Shaye passed
The
away.
actress from Poltergeist. You're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Her name was Zelda or something, wasn't it? I think that her name was Zelda or something.
Yeah, I think so. Let me look at that real quick. Hold on. Let's go. Where is it? Shit. No, we lost you, Nakattack, because of the fucking thing. My fault.
That was just like the perfect role for that lady's personality in that Poltergeist film.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was a good role. Also, Nakattack, real quick, to get on a different subject while we're looking this up. Did you see the new trailer for the new Beetlejuice?
They released another one?
Yeah, a new trailer for it.
I saw the one from like 3 weeks ago or a month ago.
Is it Poltergeist?
I saw that. I like that trailer.
Zelda,
I didn't see the new one.
Zelda Rubinstein. She actually died 14 years ago. Wow. It wasn't really.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 14 years ago.
I knew it was a couple years ago. I knew it was like a little while ago. I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah, 14 years ago, 2010. Yeah, they just released one yesterday. It's a little more in depth of how the movie's going.
So basically, this is the trailer that spoils everything. So if you want to go in and have fun with the movie, don't watch it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but I think
I hate modern trailers.
I think the fact that they did this, I think it's. I don't know. I think it's gonna be good, but also, it's been so many years since the first one.
And Tim Burton has kind of become a hack filmmaker. You know, we're not. This isn't held by the same new visionary guy that was almost 40 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm just like, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't know why they waited this long for a sequel. I really don't. I think.
Well, it's not always just we're waiting just because. I mean, a lot of weird shit happens that things get delayed.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, there's probably like a bunch. It's probably not one single reason, but a bunch of things that have just kind of kept us in developmental hell for who knows, like 10, 15 years.
Yeah. It may have been scheduling. I know people do different movies, people do different things, but who knows? But I'm excited for it still. I'm gonna not go to theaters. Unfortunately, I don't go to theaters much often. Nakattack doesn't either.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it at some point. But yeah, this isn't one where I'd be like, oh, I got to go see it on initial release.
Yeah, we'll probably wait until it comes to Netflix or something. Because honestly, everything comes to Netflix. Everything comes to Tubi. Everything comes.
Seems like they're eyeing for like a Halloween home release.
Yeah.
Timing just seems like it's gunning for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I know we got off topic, but let's get back to it.
Yeah, we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah, we do. We can, because honestly,
there's not much else to say. We highlighted a few positives. We highlighted basically why it's just kind of boring and doesn't work. As a finale to this finale, quote unquote, to the series.
Reed has inside.
Oh, sorry.
Info.
Go ahead.
Reed had inside info about why Beetlejuice was delayed. They didn't like any of the scripts.
There you go. Hey, Keaton was probably like, no, make it better.
better. So let's wrap it up here. Kind of like how Tenacious D wrapped up their career in Australia and New Zealand this weekend, because of Cal Gass's comments. But maybe they'll get back together. But who knows? Look that up. Nakattack. You know what I'm talking about if you haven't heard about that. But let's wrap this up. I think. Oof. I don't know where to go. I don't know. You want to do the ratings right now? You want to do the rating? Is that where we're going? We're gonna wrap it up there.
Just bang them ratings out. 2 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, Same
It's
here.
not a terrible film. It's just dull. Like it's well produced. It's well made. It's just dull.
I mean, they have memorable moments, so yeah, 2 out of 5 is perfect for me. It was dull. It was kind of like I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, yeah, I've seen this before. Like, you just have those feelings where you're like, oh, you know what? You kind of do look like Billy from Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus a little bit, with the get up and the ghost and all that. Like I mean, it was kind of like, okay, why are we doing this? Like, I think the actors
Well,
were.
also,
Go ahead.
after seeing Five Nights at Freddy's not too long ago, like this has that PG-13 Blumhouse stink all over it. Like there's no stakes. It's just a boring plotting film. Like that was just another PG-13 Blumhouse horror flick that was just so boring.
All right, so yeah, it definitely did. And Danya's saying March 30th, 1988, Beetlejuice was released, and Zelda Rubinstein, Magical Midget. Fucking, she wasn't a midget. She was a short person. Jesus Christ, Danya. I love you, but come on. So guys, what should we do? Let's see. Should we do The Nun 2? Should we do Super Size Me 2? Should we completely get another sequel out of the blue and tell you guys for later on? What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, where can we see The Nun 2? Oh, Craig T. Nelson called her that in the movie? Okay. Alright. Cool. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've
This
seen
is like 1980 when you could just say stuff like that.
Okay, so it is on Max. You don't have Max anymore, do you? No.
I'm sure the library has it.
Maybe.
Don't worry about where people can find it. That just stay. This is what we're watching.
All right, we're watching The Nun
You
2.
can find
Fuck it. We're watching The Nun 2.
Yeah.
We're going
You can
another
watch
horror
it.
film.
Join us and enjoy. If you can't watch it, just join us and enjoy anyway.
Yeah, enjoy our shitty talks about movies that we love or hate on this show. It's called TightSpot's Lounge. I didn't come up with the name. Nakattack did because he thought, let's stay with TightSpot's name and add lounge to it. And I thank him for that. So guys, I want to thank you all for being here. I really do. Nakattack, as always, a great time for you to be here because I know you're like, life and shit. This is like your getaway, kind of like your model building that you're doing. How's that going, real quick? I love what you've been sending me pictures of.
Yeah, the last picture I showed you was all the further I got.
Okay.
But I'd say my kit's 40% built. I got the whole torso from like the chest up. Both arms are built. The head's built. And I started working on the shield just to kind of take a break from doing a limb because the foot, or sorry, the right leg is next. And that's like a massive. The leg is pretty complex on this model, so I got to do that twice. But I was gonna take a break, so I started working on the shield, which is like a giant. It looks like a sword / shield. It's pretty cool looking.
Well, Nakattack, you definitely got this for sure. Again, Reed, Mr. Murdercat, my wife, and anyone else who's been lurking, thank you guys so much. We all appreciate it. We are going to raid out to our boy, the Dirty Casual. He's over there. He just went live. He's playing a little college football. And we all enjoy a little college football in our life, I think. I think the new game is awesome. A lot of learning curve for me because, honestly, I've been used to playing NCAA 14. And we'll definitely get better at it.
It's like a 10-year gap between those games, right?
Yeah, dude, and the intensity.
A lot of upgrades.
A lot of upgrades. A lot of like AI is fucking hard. Even on All American, that's what I was playing on NCAA 14, and this is like All American's kind of like Heisman, which I never played on 14 because I was like, you know what, I'm not competitive. I'm not in any leagues, and I really don't need to play it. But let's go over to see Dirty. He's playing his JMU Road to Glory, and he's going to do so much more. He's going to probably do all night. So, guys, follow him. Make some friends. He's a good dude from Texas. Love him. And we'll head over there. See you guys in 2 weeks for our thoughts on 2023's release of The Nun 2. which is available in Macs and libraries and all these other good places. If you guys have seen it, let us know your thoughts. Hit us up on the Twitter, twitter.com/TheTightSpot, twitter.com/Nakattack, Blue Sky, Nick-Kaler, I believe, right? Nick-Kaler, Blue Sky, whatever. You can look at me, The Real Tight Spot. All the other stuff. Just follow us. Come back. Hit us up on TikTok as well. We're 3 followers away from 1,000. But Nakattack, love you. Anything else real quick before we go?
No, just stay cool. It's hot this summer.
All right, brother. Love you. Stay cool. We love you. We'll see you all soon. Peace out. Much love. Bye-bye.